My name's Bill Wogman, a staff writer for Ohio Valley Outdoor Publications and also co-host of Ohio Valley Outdoors Radio on ESPN 1240, Youngstown, Ohio. 2 years ago, I had an opportunity to write a review on this Taurus Judge. It's a model 4510 TKR. I recently completed a review on the Smith and Wesson Governor, and I thought it would be a good idea to do a comparison of the two. The first thing I looked at was the specifications. The height on the Smith and Wesson Governor is 5.5 inches tall, the cylinder width is 1.75 inches, and the length is 8.5 inches. When I measured those, they're pretty much right on target with what they claim. On the Taurus Judge, their specifications show that it's 5.394 inches tall, the cylinder is 1.531 inches wide, and the length is 7.5 inches. However, as you can see in this photograph, it's actually 9 1/8 inches long, over 1.5 inches longer than what they state it is. As for the weight, Smith & Wesson claims that their Governor weighs 29.6 ounces, and again, it's pretty much right on target with what they're stating. The Taurus Judge, they say that this weighs 29 ounces. As you can see in this photograph, they actually weigh in at 34.9 ounces, almost 1/3 of a pound heavier than what they state. As for the cylinder capacity, the Smith & Wesson Governor will handle 6 rounds, the Taurus Judge handles 5. The barrel length on the Governor is 2 3/4 inch, the barrel length on the Judge is 3 inches. Rifling is pretty much the same. They're both with 6-groove rifling, right-hand twist. It's 1 15 inches on the Governor, it's 1 12 inches on the Judge. The suggested retail on the Governor is $679. The Taurus Judge 4510 TKR is $602 blued, or $648 stainless. As for current model availability, you can get the Smith & Wesson Governor in 2 models. The Taurus Judge is offered in 12 models. Now, they both come with a standard rubber grip. They both feel pretty good, but I actually prefer the Smith & Wesson Governor's Hogue grip. If you would like to get a laser sight for it, they are both offered with an optional Crimson Trace laser grip. As for ammunition choice, both handguns will shoot a 2.5 inch 410 or 45 Colt. Now, you can get some of the Judges that will handle a 3 inch 410 shell, and the Smith & Wesson Governor will handle 45 auto. As for the standard front sight, the Governor is equipped with a white tritium dot. The Taurus Judge says that they have a red fiber optic. It's actually more of an orangish color, and it really isn't that effective. And as you can see from this photograph, the difference between the two sights is like night and day. Now, when you buy one of these revolvers, the Governor comes in a blue Smith & Wesson carry case that's foam padded. The Taurus Judge comes in a box. Now, it may not sound like much, but when you pick up a Taurus Judge and you want to buy a comparable carry case, you can add about $15 to $25 to the cost. As for trigger pull, in single action, the Governor had a trigger pull of 4.5 pounds. The Taurus Judge had a single action trigger pull of 3 pounds. Since I prefer a lighter trigger pull, for that reason I prefer the Judges. In double action, the Governor's trigger pull was 10 pounds. The Taurus Judge came in at 8 to 9 pounds and fluctuated. Since I like a smooth trigger pull, for that reason I preferred the Governor. Now, if you're like me and do prefer the lighter trigger pull, the Governor's trigger pull can be adjusted at the Smith & Wesson Performance Center. You know, it's important to note that the state of Massachusetts has some of the toughest handgun laws and safety regulations in this country. And to be available for sale in that state, it has to be approved. Now, the Governor complies with all of these Massachusetts laws and safety regulations, and you can buy one in that state. The Judge, on the other hand, has not been approved for sale in Massachusetts. I also tested the shot patterning with Winchester Super X Game Load HS at 6, 12, and 25 feet. And what I found out is that with the number 4, 6, and 7.5 shot, the Governor did pattern tighter and had less stray pellets. As for the patterning of the Winchester PDX-1 410 Defenders, I also checked that. And what I found out was that the Judge did produce tighter groups with the disc and noticeably wider patterns with a BB plated shot. The Governor, on the other hand, produced a little bit wider disc groups and had a tighter plated shot pattern. And for that reason, I believe that the PDX-1 410 Defender would be more effective in the Governor. With the Winchester 45 Colt PDX-1 Defenders, both the Governor and the Judge are equally capable of producing 1-inch groups at 25 feet. Now, I did notice that the Judge's 3-inch barrel did produce a slight edge in the muzzle velocity. Now, as for manufacturing and quality control, take a look at the following side-by-side pictures. In the left half of this side-by-side image, note how the Governor's barrel, shroud, and center line on the frame are in alignment. The Judge in the right half shows the barrel canted slightly off the center line of the frame. Will this affect performance? Probably not. Should it be like this? Probably not. In this picture, the cylinder release on the Governor shown on the left has been pushed forward about 1/8 of an inch to release the cylinder. On the Judge, it has been pushed forward about 1/16 of an inch and is hitting the back of the cylinder shroud. With a little wear, this could become a problem with the Judge. In this side-by-side image, look at the side plate on the Governor shown on the left and the side plate on the Judge shown on the right. Note how well the side plate mates to the frame on each one. While this does not affect the performance, it does show the difference in craftsmanship. I also checked the cylinder rotational play, which is common among revolvers. With the Smith and Wesson Governor, it was only 0.6 of a degree. On this Taurus Judge, it was nearly 4 times as much, 2.3 degrees. Now that could affect accuracy, and with some wear and tear, it could become a safety issue. Customer service is extremely important when it comes to firearms. As part of every review, I make a call to the manufacturer's customer service department with a question. I posed the same question to both Smith & Wesson and Taurus. What is the barrel to cylinder clearance? Now, Smith & Wesson responded within 12 hours. It's been nearly 2 years since I've done my review on this Taurus Judge, and they have yet to reply. In total, I posed 16 questions and comments to Smith & Wesson for this review, and all were answered in a timely manner. As for the warranty, Smith & Wesson has a 1-year warranty followed by a lifetime service policy. Taurus is the same, except it's for 1 year and 10 days, and then a lifetime repair policy. Now keep in mind that a warranty and a lifetime service or repair policy are only as good as the manufacturer standing behind it. One last observation I made was the manufacturer stamping on each revolver. For that, I'll let this picture speak for itself. 2 years ago, when I wrote my review on this Taurus Judge, I ended that review with the following comment. Even though the Judge leaves a lot to be desired in my opinion, this revolver is successful in spite of itself. I believe that a similar revolver from Ruger or Smith & Wesson would far exceed the quality of the Taurus Judge. Looking back, I guess I was right on target with that comment. Even with the nominal higher price point, the Governor is a better investment in my opinion. You can read my complete review and comparison in the May-June 2012 issue of Ohio Valley Outdoor Magazine.